Hello, welcome to the Humbug and Yankee Mines. We're going to head up to the Yankee Mine further up this canyon, but before we do, we found some old different things here. I'm not sure what this stuff is used for, some cement pads here, but we're coming up here. We found this mine shaft that actually is part of the Yankee Mine, which we're going to try to find the entrance to in a minute. I don't know how far it goes. We threw some rocks down there, but it just kept going. But the Yankee Mine should be nearby. So this is the Yankee Mine entrance. We found it just on the other side of the hill, and we're going to head on inside. It looks like it was mostly collapsed, but there's still some room here to slip in, so we're going to come underneath and try to get in here. Okay, so we're just inside the entrance of the Yankee Mine. Found this old fence right here, and we're going to just turn around and head on in and see where it takes us. Okay, so as I'm walking, I just realized there's a bat right above me here. A little tiny one, but I don't want to wake him up or any other bats that could be here. I'd rather them sleep. So we're going to kind of be careful as we keep walking through here. Okay, so we just got to the very back of the mine, didn't go in very far. It turns out that mine shaft that we saw is actually this one right here. This is the middle section. If you look back, you can see there's the entrance of the mine. So it wasn't very far in. We're going to head back now, but if we were to go over that little dirt pad, we could have fallen into the pit, so we're just going to take it easy and be careful and head back out. Okay, so here we are. There's some old burnt, probably buildings that were once here. If you look up to my left there, there's an old water tower that connects down to another building that's been torn down next to it. But up here we found another mine shaft that seems, I think it's even deeper than the last one. This area is known as the Humbug Tunnels, and these network of tunnels go all over this mountain, so I could imagine this could go quite a ways down. We're going to try to get into the Humbug Mine and see where it goes. But for now, here's what we're seeing so far, just a ton of evidence of mining activity here. Here's the old building that's been torn down that's right below the water tower that's above me. This was a decent sized building. I don't know what it was used for. And then there's the water tower just above it. There's a pipe that goes down connecting to where the building once was. We kind of explored the mountainside trying to find the entrance. Awesome view from miles and miles out. But we're still looking around to see if we can see where the entrance is here. And in the process, we found another mine shaft just down here. This one's scary because it doesn't look that steep right in front of me, but if I was to step on this little steep ledge right here where it kind of dips down, I would slip and probably slide all the way in there. So definitely one of the scarier mine shaft areas I've been to. Okay, we're in the Humbug Mine now. We just got into the entrance here, and there's just a little door here that'll let us on in. But just to give you guys a history about the Humbug Mine, just outside a little bit north of here was Knightsville, which was established in the late 1800s. This mine was the result of Knightsville. So when this mine started producing tons of silver, Knightsville became a very, very prosperous town up until the mid 1900s. It's called the Humbug Tunnels today because these tunnels are all interconnected and go all throughout this mountain. This mine was opened in the late 1800s. It was started by a man by the name of Jesse Knight. He came up here after he was double crossed by a friend up to these mountains and kind of thought about what he wanted to do next with his life. After thinking for a while, he decided it would be best to start prospecting in the area. He ended up finding a vein and decided to start mining it. He asked a colleague of his if he'd be interested in mining it with him, and his friend said no, that's a bunch of humbug. So even though his friend disagreed with his decision, he started the mine anyway and called it the Humbug Mine, and it ended up being very successful for mining silver. So we're going to go through this mine and just see what we can see as we go through it. The first thing I noticed here though up on the left is there's actually an old drill that was left in here in the wall, and they just left it there, and it's been there for probably over 100 years now. So after walking through the tunnel for a little while, we ended up coming across this first room here. On my left, there's this electrical box that had all the wires ripped out and everything. Obviously, when the mine was closing down, they tried to make it as safe as possible. To my right, there's some kind of break-offs down in the ground, which I'll show you guys here. Those just kind of drop off and go in different rooms down below. It's always cool when you find stuff in mines. We found this old miner's glove here that's who knows how long it's been there for. That's kind of cool. And that old propane tank there. Just looking back here, we've also found an old bucket and some wiring. We've come into this second room, and if you look at this light, it goes way out there. This room is probably about 50 yards long. I'd say about 30-40 feet high and about 30 feet wide. And then there's tunnels that just break off in every direction. Unfortunately, again, my light is really bright close up, but when you get further away, it dims up a little bit. He's here looking for some silver, or some signs of silver, as we go around. There's tons of boulders that have fallen here over the years, and we're just going to climb over them and try to explore some more rooms around the area, see what we can see. And this is hard to see, but we found another room that just has tons and tons of old wood all over the ground. There's a structure above me here. I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit, but it's going to be really hard. But right in front of me here is this wooden structure that was probably used to sift when all the ore would come down through here, and then it would be sifted in this room. Again, I can't really get you a good picture of it here. You can kind of see the wood up there. It kind of is all around here, and there's a ton of wood just on the ground all around us. So to watch out for nails and stuff, but it's a really cool room. As we were looking around, we actually did find some silver, as that was the main thing that was mined here. We followed the quartz vein and did a little bit of chipping off the side and found this little piece of silver here. So the mining operations in this whole valley ended because a lot of miners were running into water. I think these pipes were used to siphon out the water for a while. And we're heading kind of back towards the entrance of the mine, and Daniel here is going to go down and explore this little tunnel and see where it wraps around to. Last here, I just wanted to show you guys how small the opening was to get into this mine. We had to help each other out as we came out here, so interesting place.